Hi there, my name's Emily, and I'm joined on the couch by Jake Burton, who is my strategist, and we work together to race in the FIA regional finals for the Nations Cup for Asia-Pacific. That's the name of the competition. Today we're going to be doing a really quick VOD review because I did race in Asia-Pacific regionals on the weekend, and it was a lot of fun. Really awesome experience, and we thought we would kind of show what it takes to race at a World Tour level. So we're just doing quick VOD reviews of our races and kind of talk what we went through.
Yeah, that's it. So this was the first of two shorter races. It was this one first before we went to Bathurst in Group 3 cars. There was a bit of a draft process to selecting the cars, and we managed to go with the Toyota 86 rally car. It was sort of a mid-range car, probably wasn't the fastest in the field, but it was far from the slowest. We love our Audi, which you'll see us race in the manufacturer series in a couple of weeks. However, the Audi Quattro in Group B is really not up there. It was the worst car, so we were just thankful not to get that one. But I think it's 7 laps we did around here. No real strategy involved, just a straight up sprint race, so it was really all up to him.
Yeah, so we kind of got to focus on my own kind of racing, but we kind of we worked together. As Jake kind of said, there's a draft process to picking the car, so we were the 6th pick in the car selection in order, because it goes Japan first, then Australia, Asia first, then Oceania, and then we finished 3rd in Oceania, so we got the 6th pick. Basically, we knew the GTR, the RCZ, and the NSX were the fastest. We'd already worked those out. And the next fastest car we kind of figured was the 86. I'm not sure if it was. Potentially there are a couple of other cars that were similar. The Focus was pretty good, the Hyundai was pretty good, the Supra is pretty good, but we went with the 86. Wasn't fully the correct choice, I think, but it wasn't bad.
It lacked a bit of straight line, which made it hard around here, because it meant you were more susceptible to being passed, and it made it harder for us to fight. But the corner speed was really good. It was a really nicely balanced car. So in qualifying, you saw Kawakana ran top 4, and we were P6, so top half of the field, which was really nice. But yeah, underway we go on the hard tyres, which means they're going to be nice and cold and slippery at turn 1. But after that, it's just a matter of drafting up to 2.
Yeah, so basically, I guess kind of the first thing to say is my qualifying lap that I did was okay. It got me 6th on the grid, but it was an okay lap, but it wasn't anything special. And this first kind of, I almost got killed there by what's his name? Hyde, 250 SP. He almost killed me. I was like very scared. I kind of turned out of the corner because I was like, I'm about to die. But basically, this is my first ever race at a World Tour level, and I was, to use a graphic term, I was shitting myself. I was really, really scared. So, I just wanted to get the lap down, and at Red Bull Ring it's really easy to cut a corner or to make a mistake and throw it all away, especially at this level the margins are so tight. So I just wanted to kind of hit my markers and get the lap down, and that's kind of what I did.
It's important to mention, I don't know if you mentioned it before, but there's added pressure as well because they run a different qualifying format as well. It's literally a 1-lap shootout. And no one has drafts. They separate all the cars by 10 seconds, so it's literally one shot, one opportunity, really. So P6 was a good result. We needed to average top 4 over the night to qualify, so we're at the pointy end, so this was not a bad start.
Yeah, and it's very true. So P6, P6 in the Super Pole session, and if you're racing FIA nations or manufacturers in the online series, you'll know your qualifying series are a draft fest generally, and you have 10 minutes most recently to kind of set a lap time. So I'm kind of defending a little bit here, but not a lot. If you look, they kind of start fighting behind me, these two. But I'm chilling, so my mouse goes all over the place. Basically, completely different format. So they give you, the way it works is that they split the grid into 2 groups, and every driver gets a designated time that you leave the pit lane. So for us, I think it was like 8:50 or something for this first race. So at that point, you press the throttle down and leave the pit lane, and then you get your 1 lap with no draft. And if you screw it up, that's it. You don't get another shot at it. So you put in weeks of practice. We're putting in so much work into perfecting these apexes. We're throwing everything, trying different lines, different settings in the car, literally everything, but none of it matters. It's that one time you hit that apex, that's all that counts. So it's high pressure, but I love it. It's like what we live for. So it's good.
An important thing at this point in the race is, like I mentioned before, we're struggling a little bit for straight line speed. So we'd really like to hang on to McEwen, who's a guy who we've raced quite a bit, as he's one of the front runners along with us in the Australian region. His car was probably the fastest in a straight line. So if we can hang in the 7/10 draft gap, it's going to leave us much less susceptible to being attacked from behind. And you'll notice as soon as we lose that, it becomes a lot harder. So that was the priority at this point.
Yeah, so we're trying to stay within 7/10. If you play a bit of Gran Turismo, you know it's 7-1, I think 7-2 I generally find is the draft. If you're below that, you'll start sucking up to the car in front. If you're above that, you will fall behind. So we'd kind of fallen out of the draft at this point, and I'm punching a hole in the air with everyone behind me drafting off me. So it was stressful. I didn't quite have the pace at this point, and I was starting to panic a little bit. You'll see there's one other 86 in this race. There are 3 positions ahead of me, two positions ahead of me, and they also have a similar struggle. They also they did similar times to me the whole race, but they had draft for longer, and that really kind of changed our kind of outcomes. So I'm doing my best, but I'm punching a hole in the air on my own. These Group B cars are really they're interesting at this track, because what we do is we my mindset, because you can play around with the torque balance of the car, and my mindset was torque to the rear, right? We want it to kind of turn. We're not on gravel anymore. We want it to rotate for us on asphalt. We don't want it to understeer. But that's not actually what you want to do. You just want to go torque to the front and make the car understeer and kind of understeer as much as possible. You don't want a wheel spin on an exit. So behind me they start fighting again, and I'm just chilling, just driving away. This race kind of calms down. What lap are we?
It's lap 4.
We can probably check the menu. How does this work? Replay options?
Yeah.
Smart. There we go.
Yeah, lap 4. So a big focus in terms of how I was trying to sort of coach Em through this race was the last race of the night was worth double points. So really these first 2 races weren't actually that important. Each spot didn't really make a huge difference. So it was just about mitigating loss as much as we could. So, only losing 1 position if we get past and that sort of thing. So it's just a matter of staying calm, not doing anything too rash. We knew we were going to get attacked here, but we could easily, finish 7th or 8th and still bring that back in the later races of the night. So that was a big thing for us. Also, it's important to mention that only the top 10 get points as well. So
once you get to 11th, you're not getting anything. So and that's very true. It's one of the things I've been really trying to work on with my driving recently has been if I make a mistake, to not make more than 1 mistake, basically. If you make a mistake, or if somebody passes you, immediately snap back into focus. So the Hyundai goes for a move there and pulls it off, which was awesome. And I feel like I executed that really well here. There's something that'll happen soon where I get bombed down at this corner, and I kind of get moved out of the way, and I drop some wheels on the dirt, and This corner is really easy to drop wheels on the dirt and just throw it off the road, or just lose time. But I somehow kept it on the road and snaps back into focus and made the next apex, and then made the apex after that, and then made the apex after that. And at that point, we're back into normal driving. So it was really happy with how quickly I kind of slapped myself back into focusing on my driving, which is pretty good. So yeah, I'm just chilling at the moment. Lap 5 out of 9. This race was exciting at the front, so you can't see it here. You'll see it in the actual video, which is available on YouTube on the Gran Turismo YouTube. The front two take it right to the final lap and they start fighting for it, which is really interesting. Yeah, just chilling.
Yeah, I think this was sort of a bit of a test for us. I think Emily's very strong in a lot of elements of her racecraft, but the one that I think is probably weakest is probably the defensive side, or it has been in the past for us, and it's something we're probably going to have to learn. Yeah, that hurt us a little bit, which led to us being bombed down here, but it's something we're probably going to have to learn for the Audi, because I think on the track we're running for manufacturers, we're probably going to struggle a little bit with our straight line speed.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to have to work on it a bit for that, but it's the same around here. So
I get bombed and I throw a wheel on the gravel and I lose 2 positions, but I'm immediately back on them and straighten the line, and that's it. We're in the queue.
yeah, and also the first response is probably, well, it's a rally car, who cares if you drop a wheel into the gravel? But it's important to mention that they're actually still on racing slick tyres, so they're soft like a rally car, but in every respect they want to be on the tarmac like a regular race car does.
Yeah, 100%. So, stay on the black stuff. Don't get on the gravel.
We're not in a bad spot here because now we've got draft, right? So we can now sort of go from a defense sitting duck sort of position to maybe attacking the front, and it gives us a lot more safety from the cars behind us now who are pulling us down the straights. So not a bad thing.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's interesting, sometimes I feel like people can look at this and be like, oh, you're slow, or where are you? You're all over the place. And it's you look at the lap times that I'm punching out, and it's 33.1, 33.1, 33.1. It's we're all so close. We're at this point and that's on the edge. I know I can't brake any later. I can't push any more out of the car. Yeah, I was so impressed by the level of racing at a World Tour. So this is my first World Tour event, of course. I raced in the Pro-Am race as an AM driver. But yeah, the level of competition it's a lot. It was good. I enjoyed it. Words.
Yeah, and as I say, this race here wasn't the most important of the night for either of us, really. There was no strategy in this one. It was just sort of hit your marks, don't finish too far out of the top 4, and we'll be fine. Really, as long as we were in the points in this one, we were happy.
Yeah, definitely. So just trying to keep it clean. Another thing that I was surprised about racing at this level is how clean everyone is. We've raced a lot of iRacing. Both of us have done a lot of iRacing, and iRacing's very violent at times. It's very rough racing. And I found Gran Turismo in the online series is often very rough as well. People going for moves that maybe they shouldn't, maybe people fighting over positions that aren't relevant. Often I got frustrated in Oceania because I'll be working with a driver and we'll be chasing cars up ahead, but we'll start bombing each other. And I'll be like, stop doing this, let's work together. And I found it really interesting at this level. No one goes for low percentage moves. Everyone, if they go for a move, they brake late and they all make the apex. It's no stupid stuff. Also racing with a much higher ping with a lot of the Japanese drivers than what we typically would as well. So it's not ridiculous. Asia is quite close for us in terms of connection, but it's still more than racing in Supercars E-Series or something like that, unless you're racing Rogers. Yeah, I mean Rogers is the Cody of of iRacing.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, racing for Australia, but like got the dodgy ping.
Yeah.
And also like the best of our country as well. So yeah, a lap and a bit to go. I'll probably stay quiet for this final lap, or at least a little bit of it, while I kind of have a go. Yes.
Onboard it.
Onboard it?
Yeah.
Which camera?
That one.
Yeah, this one.
I don't know, you're probably better to speak about it, but the driving style seemed very almost slow in this car. It was like you had to be very smooth. You know, the car has a lot of grip because it's so soft. Short gear ratios, but heaps of drive because you've got four-wheel drive as well. So it's really just hitting your marks. It's not an on-edge combo. It's all about the racecraft.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, a couple more corners to go. These two up ahead of me start fighting, so I start getting ready for entering the shenanigans. And up ahead as well, McEwen finally gets past the other 86, which is awesome. These two behind me are also on my butt, so I'm kind of very, very careful. I don't want to do any like stupid moves, but at this point, I'm getting points. I'm not super scared at this point. I'm just like, I just want to get it to the finish line and consolidate the finish. Yeah, and a couple more corners to go. These two are probably the hardest corners on the track. Oh, I don't know. There's lots of hard corners. This track is like deceptively hard. It looks easy, but it's really not. And there you go. That's the finish line, and we come across it, and that gets me 8th in race 1, which is an okay start to my regional finals. And yes, 2 more races to go after that. We're going to do VOD reviews for both of those as well. So stay tuned, and we'll next time look at Group 3 at Mount Panorama. Should be lots of fun.